Your subconscious mind is a beast beyond your comprehension. Seriously, take a look. All of these constant computations occur automatically every day without any need for your conscious awareness whatsoever. Even many conscious efforts such as these are heavily skewed by the subconscious mind. It's widely accepted that 95% of our day-to-day actions are the product of our specific subconscious programming. That's almost everything you do every day. That said, can you imagine how your life could be different if you knew how to take control of even a fraction of that subconscious powerhouse? Imagine that you could take some of the hardest conscious tasks towards your long-term goals and dreams and just hand them over to your subconscious mind, and the rest just happens effortlessly. Good news, you absolutely can, and it's not even that complicated. In fact, the people we consider successful have figured this out across the board, either on purpose or by accident. There's no reason why you couldn't too. You just have to know some key principles turned into a step-by-step process, which I will cover in this video, and then execute ASAP. So let's get into it. So, how to make your subconscious mind perceive your goal as something so important that it has basically no other option but to install it as a part of the subconscious programming. I'll give you an example. For about 25 years I struggled with a severe nail-biting habit. My fingernails barely had time to recover and grow back until I bit those sore and bleeding again, over and over. I knew all too well this habit could lead to a nasty and even dangerous infection, not to mention how painful and ugly my fingers were regardless. My mother even tried to motivate me with a €500 cash prize if I could quit this habit. Did the mere knowledge and extrinsic reward do the trick? Not a chance. So after decades of suffering from this deeply ingrained self-destructive habit, something finally shattered it almost instantly. What was the magic? It was seeing my then a 4-year-old son bite his fingernails for the first time. It's crucial to understand why this had such a strong impact on me. My nail-biting habit was ingrained in my subconscious programming through years of repetition and as a response to strong emotions, like stress relief. The mere knowledge about the harms of this habit and the benefits of stopping it appealed to my conscious mind. My subconscious mind, however, couldn't care less about those motivators. The subconscious mind cares about emotions. Seeing my innocent little kid on the brink of this devastating long-term pain that I've been going through most of my life finally evoked emotions strong enough to change my behavior. So this is the first principle to taking control over your subconscious mind. Make it care about your goal. Really, emotionally, care. But that raises another question. How to intentionally create a powerful enough emotion for your subconscious mind to really care about. When we start to analyze our deepest motivators with one specific tool that's also commonly used in cognitive behavioral therapy, the answer begins to emerge. Let's say you want to start waking up earlier because you want to be more productive. If this is your why, you'll stay in bed, period. You have to dig deeper. Why do you want to be more productive? So that I can grow my side business faster. Why is that important? So that I can quit my endless 9-to-5 grind someday and become financially free. Why? Because I want to be able to provide for my family and have more time to spend with them. Why? Because I love my family. Why? Because without them my life loses all its meaning and I would be completely lost. My family means everything to me. Now we are getting somewhere. Can you see the difference in how the love for your family in this example hits that emotional subconscious mind 1,000 times harder than being more productive? So start by asking yourself why about your goal at least 5 times or as many as necessary to hit that emotional nerve. Usually 5 is enough. This technique has another hidden benefit. If you can't find a strong emotional reason for your subconscious mind to grasp, it's a strong sign that your goal is probably not a good fit for you in the first place. It's beneficial because identifying a wrong goal early on might save you years of wasted time and effort chasing something that ultimately doesn't matter to you. Now that you've found a strong why, how can you use it as a magnet between your subconscious mind and your goal? Did you notice how the motivations were layered in the chain of whys? On the surface, there are the motivators only comprehensible to the conscious mind. The deeper you dig into them with the whys, the more subconsciously impactful they get. These layers in between are a complicating factor. Ideally, you shouldn't need to constantly remind yourself about this chain of reasons, but rather associate the action with the emotion directly, nothing in between. So how is that done? You have probably heard of Pavlov's dogs, those who learned to associate the sound of a metronome with food and started to salivate as a response to the sound alone, even when, after some time, the food stopped appearing. It's called conditioning, and your goal is to become like those dogs, salivating over the hard task regardless of the result in the distant future. So, take the task, say working on a side project, and the emotion, like the love for your family, and intentionally start infusing them little by little. Begin with the task, but before the intimidation of that task starts to creep in, insert a small mindful moment thinking about the great why you identified initially. Next, visualize in as much detail as you can how it feels to be that person in that time and place in the future. Be there right now for a moment. Just a couple of minutes is fine. The key is to trigger those strong positive emotions and then continue with the task. The subconscious mind can't tell the difference between imagination and reality, so the association doesn't require physical evidence to burn into your subconscious mind. At this point, you're almost there, but one crucial piece of the puzzle remains to be addressed, without which everything we've covered so far is kinda useless. Remember my nail biting example? Imagine that for whatever reason I was unable to see my son after that first time when he mimicked my nail biting. Would that one time strong emotion be enough for a lasting change in my behavior? Doubtful. Luckily, I never had to find this out because I see my son almost daily. Around that time when I managed to get clean of my nail biting habit, just seeing my son was a strong enough emotional reminder of the change I wanted to make. Eventually, the tendency to not bite my nails, or stop very fast when I did, started to spread also to moments when my son wasn't around. Without repeated active action against the urge to bite my nails for some time, this could not have been possible. So the one last secret is to remain consistent at all costs. The new association takes time and repetition to get ingrained into the subconscious reprogramming. How long? It depends on many factors. The strength of your most emotional why you identified is probably amongst the most impactful factors. So take your time to nail it down. But even more importantly, does it really matter how long it takes? There's one guarantee I can give you. If you don't commit to the change, it will take you forever to remain the same and to get the same results you've always gotten. So if you're still watching, here's a bonus shortcut for you. Detach yourself of any expectations of the process. Those can only ruin all your efforts. Just commit to it. And before you know it, you start to actually feel like doing the task without a need to motivate yourself with anything. Remember, the one who thinks he can and the one who thinks he can't are both right.